Hello everyone! In today's video, I'll share my experience and show you how I prepared and passed the AWS Certified Gen AI Developer Professional exam on the first attempt. The Gen AI Developer Pro is a new certification, announced this year 2025 under the Early Adoption Program. It is designed to validate deep technical expertise in generative AI on AWS. The exam duration is 205 minutes. It includes 85 questions. And yes, there are 10 extra questions because it is part of the early adoption phase. It makes the exam more intense, but the good news is that the early adoption price is only $150 instead of the usual price of $300. And by the way, there are many repeated questions in this beta exam with slight variations. A quick background about me: Noor, Senior AI and Cloud Engineer, and AWS Ambassador. And over the past couple of years, I have been actively working with Generative AI and Agentic AI, developing both POCs and production-ready projects for clients. I booked the exam as soon as it opened, December 16th, and I passed it successfully. The question format is very similar to the Solution Architect Professional Certification. Scenario-based problems with multiple constraints that require choosing the right combination of services. The exam guide of this certification covers almost every AWS service, which made it very overwhelming to prepare for this certification. And after the machine learning certification retirement, it was unclear whether this exam would focus on traditional machine learning, generative AI, or both. So, the next slides show what actually appeared in the exam and how often, to help you stay focused while preparing. European data residency and access restrictions were a recurring topic in the exam. Several questions focus on GDPR compliance, data and model access control, and the questions were around how to enforce them within AWS organizations while using generative AI models. Be prepared to answer those questions. Amazon Bedrock is deeply covered in this exam with tens of use cases. Like large language deployment types is very important. You need to develop a strong understanding of foundation model deployments options and when to use each one of them. On-demand, provision throughput, and cross-region inference. Like knowledge-based configurations and integrations, large language models and RAG evaluations, prompt router models, prompt management. Guardrails are also part of the solutions for many questions. A Bedrock data automation for multimodal and structured document. Bedrock settings also is very important and focusing on model invocation logging and its options and when to enable them for which scenario. Other than Bedrock, CloudWatch is a master topic, covering CloudWatch metrics, custom metrics, alert, generative AI insights, X-ray, CloudWatch integrations, and of course, all of those topics are in the context of generative AI applications. Amazon Q Developer and Amazon Q Business, I think there were around 3 questions around them. Also, data preparation using AI services is part of the solutions in many questions. Using Amazon Comprehend, Amazon Textract, Amazon Transcribe, Amazon Recognition, and Amazon Glue ETL. There was a lot of step functions, lambdas, and API gateway scenarios. OpenSearch is also a master service in this exam. We have also a BG Vector, S3 and S3 Vector, Kendra, DynamoDB, and Elastic Cache. Topics that appeared but less frequently: Amazon Bedrock Flows, Bedrock Agents, and Bedrock Agent Core. There were only 1 or 2 questions, which was surprising. I thought there will be more focus on Agent Core. But I think because this is an early adoption, it did not cover fully every generative AI service. There was also some SageMaker related topics or services such as SageMaker Clarify, Wrangler, Inference Endpoints, and Jumpstart. And of course, there are other services. They are not limited to the above, but those were the most dominant services. Topics that did not appear in the exam. Traditional machine learning. No traditional machine learning problems. So, don't waste time studying traditional machine learning problems or metrics. Yes, it is always good to refresh information, but with limited time to study, it's better to focus on the topics that the exam will actually test you on. As for courses and study references, first I cover the Coursera course recommended by AWS. It is around $49 per month, and the course was helpful in terms of review and cover main Amazon Bedrock services. After that, I purchased the Dojo course, which was around like $8, but I found that it is very spread out, covering almost every AWS service and starting from a beginner level. It did not have the focus needed for a professional level exam, so I decided not to spend time there. I jumped to the sample questions provided by that course and solved the first 30 questions, which were mostly traditional machine learning questions. So, to be honest, I do not recommend this course for this certification. And because I did not study from Dojo, I had to find some resources to prepare for the exam. So I started studying through SkillBuilder. With my previous certifications, I had not used SkillBuilder much. But after taking this exam yesterday, I was surprised at how useful it was. The SkillBuilder tutorials and short courses helped me grasp critical points about each service and when to use each one of them. I highly recommend it. Check the resources and the links in the description. Also, I was reading the service documentation from AWS. That did help a lot. Now, the last but not least, practicing everything in AWS console when possible. Or at least, take a closer look at the AWS configuration for each service in the console. This visual aspect helped me remember some of the core features for the services. Okay, those were the materials and courses I used to prepare for this certification. The last note I have is about time management. Remember that you have 85 questions you need to solve within less than 3 hours and a half. That means you have less than 2 minutes and a half per question. If English is not your native language, and you are a slow reader like me, then it becomes a time race. In my experience, the first 40 questions went smoothly. I was reading, solving them with confidence, and I think I wasted a lot of time there. After that, I started to lose my ability to concentrate, and I have to read the questions more than once just to understand what was being asked. It took like longer per question, though my logic was still working. After question 60, I was tired physically and mentally, and processing took even longer. I barely finished on time, ending the exam just 9 seconds before the timeout. So, make sure not to spend too much time on questions you are not sure about. Just answer, flag, and move forward. So that's it for today. I hope my experience and tips help you prepare for the AWS Certified Generative AI Developer Professional exam. There are links to resources in the description. Good luck and see you in the next video.